Tai Chi, if four main principles in Tai Chi, regardless of whatever types of Tai Chi or forms of Tai Chi that you do. The principles are your balance, your coordination, your breathing, and your awareness of time and space. First of all, when we talk about balance, balance is not a test between you and gravity. Balance is having the knowledge to know when you reach that particular center point. Like a person balancing on a tightrope, if they're at one particular point, they could maintain the balance. But if they're wavering between 2 points, then the balance is always off. Say, for instance, if I find the exact point, there's no way that I could fall. But if I waver from that point at any point in time, then it's a searching for that point. So when you see a person stand on one foot or do something and they begin to quiver from side to side, that means they're wavering, trying to find that center point of stability. We call it the center point of stability. So say, for instance, if I'm going to stand on one leg and I do this, and I start to waver from side to side, what I'm doing is searching for the point of stability. What I have to do is take into consideration my shoulders, my hips, the placement of my body, where my center point is, and how my hips lie. The way that the human body works, if I step out in line with the hip and shift the weight in that position, then I could stand perfectly still without wavering. But if I change that point at any particular time, then I start wavering to find the point of balance. Coordination. Coordination is the ability in Tai Chi to move the hand, the foot, the body at the same time. Like a maestro conducting an orchestra, if the maestro gets up on the podium like this to conduct the orchestra, any gesture, any move that he makes, somebody in the audience is going to play a note. So he has to be very much aware of what he does. He knows that everything is not just connected, it's interconnected. That when you do one thing, you're doing 2 and 10,000 things at the same time. Most of the time, say for instance, when a person has a thought come to their head, they instantly go like this. They stop for a moment, which usually means that they stop breathing, which doesn't seem to be very logical because you need the breath to stimulate the oxygen inside of the body and also in the mind. If the oxygen is flowing easier, then your thoughts will be a lot easier. Now, with the coordination, from here, when you begin to make a movement, and this is just a random movement, not necessarily a Tai Chi movement, just a random movement, you have to be aware of where the arms are, where the legs are, where the center core of the body is as you make that movement. And I make the movement very slowly. To look at what's aiding me in that movement. The other thing is awareness. Awareness of the environment, not just the flooring and the ceiling and everything else, but everything in total is your awareness. Awareness means that you are aware of the things around you, but you're not distracted by it at any point in time. So therefore, when you're doing the movement here, if the sound comes from the left or the right, you're aware of that sound or you're aware of that movement that comes from the left or the right, but you're not distracted by it because you keep a center focus in your movement. So say, for instance, if a person is going to do something as a single whip. Now, the single whip is an exercise in Tai Chi which depend on the practitioner and depend on the style of Tai Chi that the person does, is going to differ. Okay? So, but there are basic things which are involved into the single weight. First of all, keeping a straight center line here, lowering the center of gravity, having a nice square shoulders here. The heel has to be in line with the shoulders in order to maintain stability. The back foot has to be at 45 degrees to ensure that stability. In our particular form, in the Taoist Tai Chi, you start off square to the shoulders here, okay, and I'm going to rest my hand on my chest just to show you the body movement. And when you yield back in the direction of the knee, raising this foot, front foot, which is the right, pivoting it. Once you pivot, you bend from the knee, you bend from the ankles all the way down. Once you reach a point that it stops, you shift your weight back in that position, right over the knee, rotating on the ball of this foot, turning, stepping out to the width of the shoulders, touching the knee, touching the heel, and then a sinking motion, dropping you straight forward, and then readjustment, so you end up with the same thing. So in Taoist Tai Chi, what you want is the same picture that you have on this side, is the same picture you're going to have on this side. So that will give you the proper balance and coordination. Thank you.